Hello, how's it going? I am Malmo, joined by Keebs, and we are restreaming Game 2 of Dr. Earworm vs. Pix in the brackets of the Glitch Mentor Tournament. And we're off. Dr. Earworm and Pix, both starting in Link's house. Pix checked the map twice, and I somehow missed it both times. I saw Eastern Pendant and Desert Crystal. Could not see what Hera was. Oh, Keeves, I can't hear you.
Oh no, can you hear me now?
Yes. Must have been on the wrong mic or something. I got a glimpse of Pix getting glitch jailed. Oh, that's an upward teleport. We'll put you there. Going after that sword, no doubt, on the Hylia Island. Now, I think Dr. Earworm's timer's a little off because he forgot to start his timer. So it's going to appear a little bit out of sync for the race. I think I might actually not display the timer. So one thing about Pendant Eastern is it can make Saw's Closet a little bit easier to dip early. Because you're not necessarily waiting for anything. You just do it.
Found a nice 10 bombs there to get us started too.
Oh yeah, Hera Pendant too. It's funny because Pix's tracker does not mark the Hera Pendant. So really just retracing each other's steps with Dr. Earworm now in Hobo and Pix now in Saw's Closet.
Yeah, we'll see if Pix likes to go to Eastern if it's a pendant early.
Is that a thing he does that he happened to know about?
I don't know.
Very few people will do that, but I saw at least one person do it. The fact that he's running out is making me interested to see what happens next. Yeah, it looks like he's going for it. Now this could be a lasting advantage if something is here. But it could also be a massive waste of time. And it could be a massive disadvantage if something is here and he doesn't get it because it's behind the bow.
Dr. Earworm going straight for that DMA with getting the sword so early that it's basically an assured sword seed. This makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, taking away the sword has a pretty strong impact on the route. You get very comfortable with certain things like the mountain, and then you realize that they're not actually safe to do. Very easy to find yourself overextending here or there. So it's nice to be able to go back into being able to choose from more options at the beginning.
Successfully dodged the cabbages.
Looks like we're on an MSU shuffle for earworm as well. It's interesting. Small key in Hera basement cage, which is often spent in swamp in this mode, even though it's not supposed to be. And I'm $50, so probably not seeing the top of Hera anytime soon.
So the only thing that that Pix really got was a fairy in a bottle, which could prove useful depending on whether we need that to make some YBAs happen, or if there's something on Sick Kid. There's not another bottle easily available.
Even just having that before Kakariko makes it nicer to go to Kakariko, so you can know that at least one thing isn't going to be left behind. But both of them seem to have the same idea of going up the mountain. Pix just didn't stay nearly as long. Or I say that, I'm completely wrong. Pix isn't Eastern. But we'll probably be going up the mountain because the route that he's taking here will take him to Lumberjack DMA spot. So we'll most likely be seeing him not too far behind Dr. Earworm. And there is a sword there in Spiral Cave, so it's worth going. But yeah, it's hard. You know, that bottle is nice, but even if Sickit is something, it's probably not worth penning Eastern.
Yeah, I think that it only becomes an advantage if that's the only bottle for a while, and
Sickit's
like,
the bow. Like, yeah.
Or just like the fact that you could fake flute has some sort of advantage. Depends on what we find.
Yeah, Moonpearl would just negate that completely. And
yeah, exactly.
You're not supposed to fake flute by logic anyway. You'll always be given a mirror if you're supposed to go off the mountain in the Dark World as a bunny. Welcome, raiders who just got here. Not a whole lot has gone on yet. Pix has dipped Eastern and found a bottle, and that's the most interesting thing we've seen. Otherwise, it seems to just be a free sword seed. 2 swords have already shown up. Dr. Earworm is fixing his camera here, but I don't see a glove in his tracker. Maybe he plans to swim to the back of Escape. Wow, Pix is taking a clip route to Darkcross. Not something you usually see this early in the seed. Looks like Dr. Earworm just forgot he doesn't have a glove. Must be a little seed bleed going on. When I loaded up his stream, he had a full tracker and a timer finish, so he must have just done a seed. That's probably why he didn't think about the glove. I think he's going up the mountain this way. Oh, we've already been up the mountain.
Yeah, I think this is just going to CAC.
Yeah, it's strange.
Like
it's strange to see.
Weird way to get there. But...
It's strange to see these done after the mountain. I'm used to doing this and then the mountain because of the way it routes. But I've been seeing a few people experiment with leaving this behind for a little bit, or for a long bit.
I guess I'm very used to, so like Dr. Earworm did Graveyard Ledge, but didn't save and quit and just do King's Tomb as well. It's like an interesting choice to leave that one behind. if you're gonna do one.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense to at least he doesn't need the money from Houlihan, so he didn't have to drop down. But also he set up to go to Back of Escape and then didn't have a glove. And because he set up to go to Back of Escape, he couldn't have Houlihan's anyway. Pix just did something really interesting. He took his Hera key and spent it and got refunded the key that's in the back. So he still has his Hera key. But what makes that particularly interesting is he didn't know that key was there. He just got lucky. This is probably not worth it, Pix. You have a save and quit point right by Tower of Hera.
There was a lamp in the dam. It's early fire source. Desert is a crystal, so we can do that now.
You can. It's not really the best fight, but the Master Sword makes it. You can at least use like beam spam and spins to do a little extra damage.
Yeah, it's just kind of nice to be able to actually do it when you do the loop to check ledge and inside. It always feels bad if you have to come back just for Landmo.
Kind of. I've seen a couple of cases. In fact, even last night in a race where something was in checkerboard. Having Landmo not done yet can give you an incentive to clean up the checks you leave behind the first trip.
Yeah, that's fair. And there was a tempered sword on the generous guy. That's the Hype Cave guy. I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, this guy's generous too. He doesn't get any credit. He's just the mini Moldorm Cave NPC. He's the one everyone forgets to talk to because he's in the middle.
Pix having some trouble there with that spin speed setup.
Yeah, dodging cabbage is like a champ though. Mushroom shows up in Ice Rod Cave for Earworm. Which both of them having already been to Saw's Closet might not find a good time to return that.
It's not too bad of a turn in, just a fake flipper from south of Link's house.
Who is winning? Well, it's hard to tell because Dr. Earworm started his timer late. So I had to hide it because it looked like he was out of sync when he wasn't. But, you know, it's 12 minutes in and obviously Pix is winning. Because he has... I don't know. I can't think of a reason. He has a bottle and Dr. Earworm doesn't. Dr. Earworm found a lot of money on the mountain that Pix doesn't have. Zora is not anything, but Pix will be probably leaving that behind here. Hera is, we don't know yet, locked because there's a key in the basement cage and an item in the other chest.
Yes, if we have just vanilla key layout, which is terrible to think about, then yes.
Yeah, Moon Pearl could be vanilla in the seed if keys fall in the right place. Flute in Kakariko means that you can go here early and not be punished. The Pix is following closely behind. It really just hasn't done East Death Mountain, which I think was just a sword. I don't see anything on Earworm that Pix doesn't have besides that.
Yeah, it was just the sword.
Interestingly,
There were
though,
some heart pieces and stuff. That's about it.
the Pix didn't get the mushroom from Ice Red Cave. I'm not sure. Did he die?
I was not paying attention. I don't think Pix went all the way over there.
He'll get bailed out because of the flute, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know that that's here, but he'll be very happy to see it.
Yeah, and then with all that money, we'll definitely see a return trip over there.
It's kind of nice, though, that he did pick up the lamp at the very least. And the flute will make the mushroom turn in super free. Ooh, that's a tough spin speed to miss. Doesn't save that much time. When you miss it, you want to keep going. Oh, a hook shot.
Hook shot.
Well, that Moon Pearl potentially being vanilla could still be a problem if the big key is vanilla. And it's in the big chest. No, but if it's just upstairs, or if it's mire locked, we can just go there. All we need to find is the second item. And then we can freely spend the key that's in there in Swamp. Pix says no bombs. He spent them all death warping in back of escape.
Well, the bottle gave him a couple.
That's good. Do you think that was worth going into Pendant Eastern?
I'm gonna go with no. Pix looks like it's way too low with these teleports to try to get that item.
There's a version you can do that's lower. Maybe he's
yeah.
just going for that version. I don't know if it's that low. Oh, okay.
Oh no.
No. Well, okay, he failed in the right way at least.
Yeah, I was gonna say don't get stuck there.
You never
You can
want
get
to.
stuck after you get the hook shot. That's fine.
Yeah, you never want to go try and like tap right once you're up there.
Yeah, I think it just needs to be that one pixel higher ish.
Oh, is that what's happening? He's teleporting too low. The Moon Pearl's just sitting here and
He's doing like a regular and not an irregular. Yeah, Moon Pearl's just.
I do it with the regular. I don't face down though. All right, cut your losses, swallow your pride, do the maze race. It's faster.
So at least for the irregular one, you are supposed to dash turn right and then buffer down left. So maybe Pix was getting those two things confused. And then Hammer was just in cave 45, so
we can
just
clear
all the items.
Probably clear
GT
game. Now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's work on our mimic clipping and just do GT climb.
Details. Oh, I can't believe that's not a soft lock.
Yeah, he's a little low there.
You can be quite high. In fact, like any amount of high that still clips you in is good. I do like the instinct of tapping down to kick up.
Thought he was stuck there. Yeah, I usually just use the second bump as a reference, and Doc was going for the third bump down, which I guess still worked. It just was a little tighter.
I don't think I've ever soft locked doing that wrong. I think if you're too low, you'll just land inside the slope you're in and get to try again. Well, it's a good thing Pix didn't soft lock, because you don't want to leave behind the items that are here.
Yeah, especially since it's a clearable crystal dungeon as well.
There's some rough Lama patterns. I think you still need to spin in a slash on that third one.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, but he got a nice longer pattern in there.
Nice sword. Oh my god.
So sword advantage not really going to be much of a thing for Doc, because Pix will just be on tempered, and tempered versus gold is negligible in the long run.
And you get to flute out. Oh, at least turn in the mushroom. Did he not activate his flute? Oh no!
I was wondering that
because I didn't remember.
I didn't want to say anything.
I didn't either. I didn't remember him doing it, but I'm notoriously bad at paying attention to both sides of the screen, so I definitely know that Pix did.
Yes,
because I saw him doing it and think I don't remember seeing Dr. Earworm do this. The good thing is you don't need the flute, but Pix will have this little speed advantage unless Dr. Earworm swallows his pride and activates it at some point.
Yeah, there's not really a great reason to go back to Kakariko.
No. You go there when you're doing purple chest. Alright, confirmed Meyer locked Hera and a glove in the big chest. So that is... You have to pay attention to the logic now, because that is a Meyer locked glove. Yeah, Meyer is probably in logic. And I don't even think you need... I'm not actually sure what the key logic is for just getting to Hera. I know that you're supposed to have 3 keys to unlock Swamp.
Is that the one it depends on if Vitreous has a small key?
Yeah, for Swamp.
And then it would be cane locked?
Yeah, it would be.
But I don't know. I don't usually pay attention to that kind of stuff.
Krathel says it requires 2. Yeah, it probably does in this case. But there's definitely some weird stuff going on with the logic where it requires 3 for some things. And some of that is actually like a bug in the logic, and some of that is just the logic doesn't really account for the whole big key, small key mutual locking thing when you're just talking about unlocking Swamp. Nice fire rod, Hookshot Cave.
Yeah.
Oh, and another glove?
All right, well, there's a glove, logically. So
the question is, you go into Smith Chain looking for the Meyer Medallion? You don't. But you just Probably not doing it anyway. Is that second glove? I mean, you can do Hookshot Cave without a glove.
Yeah, you don't need the glove logically.
Alright, we have the TR medallion in case anybody asks.
I totally missed it though. What was it?
It was with Bombos.
Bombos.
So we don't have to think about TR logic anymore. So I see no reason not to do, like, oh my goodness, Skullwoods, Thieves Town. At this point, I see no reason not to do really anything. We can do Ice Palace. We can do Mire.
Yeah, we just start clearing crystal dungeons and hope we find the other items. Or just do GT. Honestly, you just go GT right now.
Yeah, so the problem with GT right now is, what are we killing Ice Armos with?
That gold sword?
Yeah, it's slow. It's so slow. Pix doesn't think so.
It's not that slow.
Pix doesn't even have the fire rod and cane, though. The bow that you find there, that's a very good point. The seed will just be free. No, Pix is here in Hare Estate and found the small key and map.
Yeah, so this GT play could pay out for picks, but will also be pretty detrimental if there is something right side. Since Doc already has Samaria and Fire Rod.
Especially if there's something right side, but the key is accessible, the big key. And
Yeah,
or the
because
bow.
then like when do you come back,
Yeah.
right? You're gonna go do dungeons.
Maybe the lack of bow is actually a boon for Pix.
Unless picks mimic clips.
I mean, he can be my guest. We're 30 minutes into a seed.
Am I the only clown that was in the tournament? Right?
Oh, we're all different breeds of clown here. There were definitely some mimic clip clowns. I think I remember it was like Dr. Earworm versus 2C or something. And
No,
one
that
of
was
them...
mine versus 2C.
It was you. Was that your mentor?
And it might have been. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, yeah, we...
Bow on the climb.
That's
Second
right.
bow on the climb.
And then turns
yeah.
out 2C just also had it. Yes, that was you.
It's only clowning when it doesn't pay out.
It's only clowning when it does. We almost got 4 heart pieces in the random room. Now, Dr. Earworm's doing the thing I would tell him to do, which is just do North Dark World. No reason to put this off. Unless you really don't want to do overworld checks. I do realize, though, speaking of Mimic Clip, this is totally a Mimic Clip seed.
Oh, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
We don't need it at all. I do not know whether the runners can Mimic Clip or not. Oh, here we go. Yeah, beams are almost not too bad. If you can get the heal. The beams have decent DPS. But it's still noticeably slower than having a bow. Big key vanilla in GT.
Vanilla.
Alright, Pix. At least get the big chest, and we'll see that. But does he climb or not? Remains to be seen. I think Tylerm is a key. If this isn't a key. Yeah, I think Tylerm's a key.
Tylerm's logic now.
Ah, I think it's a key. We only have one key exiting left side. I don't think the keys... I think there's still two at large. One of them's upstairs and one of them's in Tylerm. Yeah, I see what you mean. Like, if your mimic clips are any kind of good, like if you're doing it unbuffered, climbing now is pretty good. But if you're doing like 2-minute buffered mimic clips, maybe hold off on that one. You might just find a bow and save 2 minutes. The Pix hasn't actually done East Death Mountain yet. I'm not too surprised that he doesn't climb Hera. And he'll be okay because he won't get the glove, but there's a glove in Hookshot Cave, as long as he's willing to do the clip.
Yeah, and that one's pretty straightforward too. And it's a nice route, like super bunny, and then just like jump off, and after hookshot, you're back at the top, so you can go to catfish or whatever you want to do after.
Well, I hope whatever you want to do after is catfish, because that's where the cane is. It would feel real bad to choose TR caneless
yeah, I mean,
over
I guess there's really
cane.
nothing else you can do right now, but
you can choose wrong and go into TR and feel very sad when catfish has the cane. I just don't see anybody doing that. I think Pix might actually enter the Dark World at the top of the screen here. Because he killed all the mold worms. And he has the hammer for hammer pigs. Alright, are we seeing a Muffin's Dash? Yes, let's do it. The hot new meme that will definitely never get old.
I thought that was the 9 dash sea house, not the 1 dash, but it's out the door.
Picks on the right track here. I wonder if he'll just go back to GT. No, because you want the bow. If the bow is in GT, Pix is actually in trouble.
Yeah, I think Pix doesn't go back until you get a bow.
Okay, hopefully he doesn't soft lock this. It looks like he's setting up pretty precisely on this. I would consider Smith in Doc's situation. I actually wouldn't advise it. If I was his mentor, I would say skip the Smith for now. And the reason is that you can get back to village very easily and do the Smith later, and Smith will prevent you from entering Mire, which I think Dr. Earworm wants to do Mire.
And knowing where the myths were, I think kind of discourages it.
I'm on team it's probably in logic, given Dr. Earworm has 3 medallions and the cane. I think he did just get the 3rd one. Alright. Takes getting the important item in here, the fire rod. Mire is just as free, that is true. I did not consider that. Sometimes I forget you can do that. And he doesn't even need the info anymore. Yeah, they do need... So they need the ice rod and the flippers for go mode. And if they can't mimic clip, they need the bow too. Yeah, they're pretty close. This is Pyramid Fairy. I don't know if this is Pyramid Fairy or... Yeah, this is Pyramid Fairy. Because you could have hookshot it across to the Dark World, but... this makes a lot of sense because you can do pretty much all the pyramid stuff together and then do hammer pegs on the way out.
Yeah. This is not Pyramid Fairy then.
Alright, maybe he just doesn't know the swim. We take this for granted, but the swim is only like a year old. Yeah, he's just gonna do what's in logic here. I don't know what the red crystals are. Okay, I do. It's actually in logic to do Pyramid Fairy. So I'm gonna take it as a... doesn't know how to do the trick or isn't feeling comfortable with it.
Yeah, I found the swim clips one of those things that was like hard to get, but then once I started getting it, now it's pretty easy, like
yeah.
in air quotes.
It's the hardest, God, it's the hardest trick to mentor. Because they'll be like, I'm doing what you're saying and it's not working, and I can't troubleshoot it.
Yeah. I had to figure it out for myself.
I had to see what your fingers are doing on the D-pad to troubleshoot, and I just can't do that from a Discord call. I can look at your input display if you have it. And to me, it's like the easiest thing in the world. It's like, oh, you just flick your thumb like this, and it's like, how do I teach that?
Yeah, it's like hovering or mimic clipping. It's a whole lot easier to teach in person because you can just hold the controller and show.
I can attest to the hovering thing. Especially if a person is playing with a controller that's different from yours. Yeah, teaching swim clip is like teaching somebody how to whistle. So, full clear Mire incoming. There's really nothing to say about this. It's just Mire and move on. I could say some stuff about the Mire key logic, but we're not really looking for any items that we care about the key logic, so it's just a matter of which chests you prioritize that are most likely to have the items and the big key. Ooh, nice God Pixel. God Pix. Oh,
We can talk about
about
Meyer
Meyer Q.
Biggie is in cutscene chest.
Yep. I mean that's boring now because it's like, oh yeah, it's just there. But that little bit of logic is actually really useful for calculating odds. Because if you find the big key first, there's a pretty good chance that the other one's a small key. Like, really good. More than you think.
Yeah, it's just one of those you as a runner never want to see the small key in the low spike chest. Alright, well, it's Crystal 2 for picks. Whereas Dr. Earworm's gonna go get number 4 here shortly.
Yeah, Earworm is pretty ahead. Pix has done Basement GT for the big key, so if the go mode shows up elsewhere, oh nice, dual muffin stashes from both runners, so they can both lose an equal amount of time. Very sportsmanlike of them. Anyway, it's still a lead for Earworm, but it's not as big as it looks.
Yeah, I think Earworm just kind of got a lot of the key items just a little more compactly than Pix did. So
yeah, Earworm's route has been pretty I don't know, it's just been pretty standard, like what people would just generally consider good routing. Like nothing fancy, just get all the stuff done that's near to crystal dungeons and hope you find what you need there, and then when you don't, you just go to the other places. But Pix is doing some more interesting stuff that may or may not pay off. Some of it is straight gambles, like the early Eastern play, and some of it is just doing things in a slightly different order. Like the GT could have paid off, and it didn't.
Earworm playing it safe here on Viddy. Gets the kill.
Mirror.
Mirror.
Dr. Mirrorworm. Right.
I'm gonna need you to reflect on that pun.
Now, this is a really good time to clean up Checkerboard Cave. Something Earworm did not think he was going to be able to do on this trip. Oh, Earworm. Oh, no, no. You didn't think about it yet.
Yeah.
It's hard to think about the items you just got.
Yeah.
He's probably thinking about it now.
Honestly, that's been the hardest part for me. Like, with overworld glitches in HMD. You get so into like, I can do this glitch, I can clip here, and then you forget about like just the core items and what they let you do.
Alright, Earworm's going back for the smith chain, thinking that mirror is pointing towards it. I'm not sure where Hype Cave comes in to either of their routes. Neither of them has actually done Hype Cave. Because the mirror is nice, but it's not required in HMG. At least not when you have the Moon Pearl. Mimic Cave could be an item, and that's about it. Makes Pyramid Fairy a little nicer. It was always in logic with the red crystals. Pix's route has somehow avoided the South Dark World entirely. He could do all of that separately, starting from Hype Cave and ending in Mire. Wouldn't be too bad. He doesn't have the mitts, so he has no incentive to do Smith Chain, which means that if there's nothing there, it's a little bit of time save. Oh, I love that. The item dash pit setup. It's a really good setup if you like aren't comfortable with the sword spin or don't have a sword. Ooh, no purple chest for Earworm today. I disagree with this, but some people just refuse to do purple chests, and that's on them. This purple chest has never been closer, and will never be closer again. I think I can't remember if it was Earworm who had a couple seeds or purple chests determine the outcome. This might be a response to that. He might flip back, but it's still farther. Like, he was closer then. Yeah, he should have just done it then. Here we go.
I am a little surprised that, well, I was gonna say that we're not just seeing Ice Palace first, but...
Ice Palace is only in logic for one of them.
Right, I meant for Earworm, but...
Oh no.
Oh.
It is purple chest. Bow on purple chest, so
chest.
maybe optional, maybe not. I think now I see no reason not to just do GT right now.
Yeah, for sure.
I say as he goes to probably Ice Palace. No, Hype Cave. We haven't done that yet. Nobody's done Hype Cave. Earworm could do this into Pyramid Fairy if he wants to keep doing Overworld. I think he should be going to dungeons, but Hype Cave is pretty dense, so I can't blame him for doing this first. Go moding GT can be pretty rewarding. And the flippers are here. Still needs Ice Rod.
But yeah, that's two more dungeons we can do, and GT, and all of TR. I would just be pushing dungeons.
Yeah, I'd consider TR without Ice Rod to be basically as good as doing it with Ice Rod.
Yeah, I agree. Because you got to get the key, the big key anyway. So.
And it's so easy to get back. the mirror.
Right.
That's really what it is. It's just so easy. It's one of the few dungeons, I mean, because we're breaking it, where you walk in and the boss is right there. Oh, it's just here.
Wow.
That's go mode for Dr. Earworm at approximately 52 seconds. Minutes.
Yeah, 52
Not that
seconds.
fast.
Ludicrous speed. And right as I was about to say, I don't know, I think GT's got more density, and maybe we don't do Ice Palace first, because it's got fewer spread out checks.
Now here's the thing, though.
Finds ice around.
Pigs can do all of that too, and not have the bow. And we might get a mimic clip out of him. I don't know if he can do it. Yeah, Dr. Earworm is...
There's also a second bow.
There is a
so
second
we might
bow.
See that.
Dr. Earworm is so deeply in go mode, he's not even getting that chest. I'll get that one, though, because it's right there. Probably will not be opening the big chest. I don't see a whole lot he could find besides the other bow that would speed him up. But yeah, this is still pretty hard for Pix to catch up at this point. Just besides being in go mode, Dr. Earworm has more dungeons completed than Pix does.
Right.
There's already...
Yeah, there's really no, especially with Gold Sword, even with Silverless, like, you're going to spend more time trying to open chests. And Earworm has to open chests in GT anyway to get the big key. Which we know is not bow, but those would be the only ones I would open.
Pix is going for the Fluteless Spooky setup. It doesn't quite make it. I'm not sure what went wrong there. He didn't do the 4-sword slash buffer, but you can still manually aim. And he did hit the anti-fairy. I like Dr. Earworm doing a save and quit here, just because it's... I don't think there's really anywhere he can hardlock, but you never know. When you have Mirror and Flute for a very long time, you can lose a ton of progress doing that. The Earworm's now picking apart Swamp Palace. It doesn't really matter what you do now. You just do the 2 dungeons that are left in some order. I think TR, it just doesn't matter because you haven't done GT yet. Oh, is it? It's faster? That's good to know. It feels faster. I feel like every time I Mirror and Flute, I just get dead rocked. Pix going back in, probably to unlock Swamp. I'm not actually sure why he would do that, because he doesn't know that the key for Hera is free. He has it, but he doesn't know that he can safely spend it. Oh, he had some spooky left over from... Oh, he just didn't get the second item. Okay, that's fair.
That was the second item. Right there.
Now he's going to Swamp. Because he hasn't been to Hype Cave yet, and this will get him to Hype Cave. Which is good. Gets him the flippers. He can actually just go back down and do Swamp once he's unlocked it. Which is kind of neat. he and Dr. Earworm might actually be in swamp at the same time. And the flippers for him will actually put Ice Palace in logic, getting him a little closer to go mode. If he chooses to do it. Now, Dr. Earworm so far doing all the swamp stuff correctly. So not a whole lot Pix can gain on this one. Pix choosing not to do the bomb clip. Interesting. He might just be doing this because it's what he knows. So he did move the wall. Big Key was here. Oh, don't save and quit.
Citrus flip was cooler anyway.
Okay, I may have told Pix to go in the one below the bumper. I didn't mean that one, but that one seems to work just fine as well. Nice second Meyer Big Key. It's funny that you could actually skip the Meyer cutscene chest by opening that one. If you were in a spoiler log situation, you could maybe save a little time with that. Also, Mitts, another thing that points towards Ice Palace for Pix.
I have to say, Pix's like setup, like the directions and all that, are slightly different than how I do that.
I think he's too high there, but he does do like a facing upward, but it's still the same thing.
Yeah, I've just like never seen anybody face different directions during it. I don't know.
I think I usually have my sword out already or something. So I'm not facing up, but it doesn't make a difference. It means that you don't have to dash turn for the second step. A Pixie. So we've got two people in swamp right now. They're actually probably both going to exit swamp at roughly the same time. Pix will be maybe entering. Yeah, the Pix will be out of swamp slightly earlier than Dr. Earworm is. Because he just walks out and goes to Hide Cave.
Yeah, then immediately turns around.
Yep, which is cool. I love this. I love that he gets to do this. Will he recognize the implications of those flippers? He will. It could have actually been swamp or ice. Both of them would have been following the flippers, but he chooses swamp, which is good because he could do swamp and then ice. Of course, ice will put him in potentially bow go mode first, but there could be a bow in swamp. We didn't see a whole lot of chests open on Earworm's side.
Yeah, and we'll see a full clear probably from Pix.
Earworm's going to manually set up on the edge here, which is an older method of doing this. Sometimes people find these ancient tutorials. This is the downside, is you can totally just soft walk doing that.
And this is why I like my bonk method of doing the clip there, because it puts you on the right pixel for the mirror wrap. So I find it a whole lot faster because all I have to do is jump left and wrap.
Your worm finds a key on Laser Bridge, which is the only thing you're gonna find there that you need for the dungeon. Backwards TR is pretty nice because you get to find the big key and then just mirror back to the front. Back to the back. I don't know. It's the front now. I call it the front. No bow for Pix here. The purple chest is, you know, a little closer. Oh, the bow's here. Ooh. So if Pix just does crystal dungeons, we'll get the bow. That's nice to see. Dr. Earworm is probably not too happy to see that a bow is just in a crystal dungeon.
Yeah. That purple chest is a longer check, but Dr. Earworm's also not really wasted much time at all in the entire seed.
No, and Dr. Earworm did get to go mode stuff. I think actually the time spent turning in the purple chest was easily made up by getting to skip chests in Swamp and Ice. The seed would have been slower for him if he had not gotten it. Assuming he doesn't just like mimic clip and still be in go mode and then just get lucky on that one. Both of them getting 2 rods and missing the spin on Argus phase 2. Ends up being a bit of a wash. Alright, Pix on the right track, going to Ice Palace. And we should get the Ice Rod and lead him towards Turtle Rock to get the boat. So, you know, definitely in the right place here. Pix stealing the key. There's a little bit of debate over like when it's good to steal the key. Personally, I only do it if I'm doing IPBJ route or I'm missing Hammer Glove. But I haven't really like tested it.
Trying to think of like when that would be faster. Oh no.
Ooh. Oh, that's the Ice Rod. Pix, you gotta go back in after this.
Yeah, if that chest, if Pengator chest is a small key, then yes, you save time.
It's fine if Pix goes back in. The Pengator chest is pretty slow to get. I don't skip it when I have the cane. I skip it when I don't have the cane. But then I go back in if it's an item. If it's the big key, I just say, screw it, I'm losing if that's it. Then I accept that. I accept my fate. Ooh, Dr. Earworm's gonna... If he doesn't go full right, he'll lose a little time here. Doing extra checks in GT for the big key. Stealing the key makes a little more sense now that I've seen him skip Pengator Room. It's probably good if you're skipping chess. Because now he can do iced tea. Oh, he's going to drop down and get nothing and have to do iced tea and still get nothing. Because we know the third item's in the front. This would have been a pretty fast Ice Palace even in a full clear situation if you just did Pengator Room. Oh, he's just not doing iced tea. Is he just going to... Oh, no. I can't blame him because he probably feels a little behind for various reasons, but...
Yeah.
The routing that he's doing here makes me think he's not going back in.
Yeah, I agree.
If you go back in and the item was in iced tea, you just feel really bad. Now, if he doesn't go back in, though, where is he going? What's the route for him? Is it back to GT for just the bolus?
GT right or hope it's in TR.
Yeah, hope it's in TR is a pretty good play if you don't know it's there. Oh no, he's going. Okay, well he's probably not getting it ever.
Right. Yeah.
God, I keep tripping over my cord.
TR then, right?
Just TR, yeah. I mean, it's what I would do.
If you were going to do GT, you would jump down.
Again, if I was his mentor and he chose to skip that, I wouldn't stop him. I would say, hey, that's risky, but it's up to you. I would say GT is a good play. Or TR, not GT. I would say TR and then GT.
Well, he's going to get the bow. And then probably go back and finish GT and climb.
Yeah, and then he does Eastern and Pod.
And then do Pod, right, exactly.
Get the green pendant.
Because then Pod has a bunch of items.
Oh, yeah, and then doctorearworm will have finished by then, so he probably never actually get to that point, but... It's a mercy that this is a sneak race. Oh, Pix is doing another setup that is harder for no reason. There's a setup where you don't move up at all. Yeah, as long as you do the inputs on the on the hill itself, you'll always land on the correct pixel, and you don't have to do any like manual adjustments.
Twin, you're about to see it.
Where's second bow? It's here. Unless you mean the other one. That's on purple chest. That might actually be Pix's second bow, because he'll probably get that before he gets Ice Rod.
Yeah, I imagine Pix gets everything else before he gets Ice Rod.
Ice Rod was in Ice Pengator Room, and Pix subscribed to the school of always skip Pengator room. And also skipped iced tea room, so didn't have any... felt like it was a gamble he was willing to take. And it did not work out for him in this seed. Oh. Unfortunately, those don't work like keys. They don't just automatically collect when you go through a door. You do have to...
It would have been too far away even for a key.
Do keys not auto-collect?
It's got to be close enough to you when you go through the door still.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was way too far away.
Okay, you're an NNG runner. You can lose the key. That's a bummer. I always see NMG runners boom the key and escape and then walk out the door before it gets there, and then I hear the jingle after they walk through the door, and I always assume that you can just boom keys as far away as you want.
Yeah, that room's small enough where it, you're not really in danger of losing it, but you could.
Can somebody like Error lose it if they're fast enough?
Apparently Vortex is fast enough.
Oh, no.
In chat. I've never done it,
well,
but then
Vortex,
again, I'm a scrub, so...
If there's ever a way to kill a run, it's by being too fast.
There you go. Too good at the game.
Speaking of too fast NMG runners, welcome PH and Raiders. The seed has gone mostly in Earworm's favor, and then very much in Earworm's favor when Pix decided to Pengator skip and leave behind the Ice Rod and Ice Palace. But it was cool to see Pix get a route that went mire to swamp just to unlock swamp and then find the flippers in Hype Cave and then walk back to swamp to complete it. And he's the real winner for doing that. I think what Pix does here now is he gets out. He's already opened the front and he does Mimic Cave.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Ooh, I can't believe that worked. Oh no, Pix could have known that was a key. It's so hard to count keys in TR. Because when you're doing it backwards, you walk through a million key doors that you don't actually open.
Right. I did the exact same thing earlier.
The only reliable way to count keys in TR is to track them or to actually count them. This is why I recommend if you're on Dunka Tracker, just use the Key Sanity tracker even if you're not playing Key Sanity.
And as imagined, this is most likely just a GT.
It's what any reasonable person would do.
Doctorearworm, on the other hand, almost fully decked out. Blue Mail, Mirror Shield, Gold Sword, Silver Arrows. That's more like a PH. We're not reasonable people, we're rando runners.
Pix is actually just climbing, which is really interesting.
I think this is I might be behind because I did Eastern kind of gamble.
Yeah, this is kind of why I think if you're going to do a gamble like that early, you need to be prepared for it failing and not have it... What doctorearworm says, calls it pigeon logic. You get, influenced by past seeds you've done. Yeah, that's a pretty quick forfeit from Pix. Can't blame him for that. Not even in go mode. You'd have quite a bit of a journey ahead of you. And 116 is a really hard time to beat. That is Dr. Earworm's time, according to racetime.gg. And he will be moving on in the bracket. Dr. Earworm will be facing the winner of Vortex of Doom and Structural Mike. GG.
All right, looks like we got Dr. Earworm and Pix in chat. GG.
GG's.
GG's. Woof.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. Earworm? 116.
Yeah, that was quick.
Yeah, everything just kind of in your path. Even that purple chest bow we were talking about. We thought you were going to feel bad when you found the TR bow, but it seems like you actually gained time having the bow earlier just by being able to go mode swamp and ice.
Yeah, which, to be totally honest with you, I probably mostly would have anyway. Like, I would have opened a few more chests, but I wouldn't have gone too far out of my way.
You mimic clipper?
I was just going to mimic clip, yeah. I definitely would have opened more chests, but I was in a mindset early of, okay, I'm Flipper's Ice Go. The bow would be a luxury.
So Pix is probably wondering where the ice rod is.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's Bengators.
It's Bengators.
Yeah, did you skip it?
Yeah, I skipped it.
Oh
That's
god,
fair.
I was so
I'm
close.
the one who's
I was
going
so
around
close to skipping it.
I'm the one who's going around telling people to skip Pengators, but I only do it when I don't have the cane.
Yeah.
I think going back for it when you have the cane is pretty reasonable.
I just did so much clown shit in the early game that I was like, I'm one from go. I'm not doing anything that's remotely out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
That's perfectly fair, yeah. Especially like climbing GT at the end. And you got the bow from TR. That was pretty lucky.
So I do regret not looking at my Dark World map because I was thinking like, oh, I really wish I knew if Pod was a pendant. Because if Pod's a pendant, I'm just gonna mimic Flip if I get big key.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I thought about going to GT earlier and just climbing, but I can mimic clip, but I know I'm slow at it. So I was like, I'll do it. Like, I'm not going to consider bow part of my go mode, but I'm also going to do it last if I can.
Yeah, that's where I am as well. Break in case of emergency.
Yeah.
yeah, it was a convenience item.
It's like doing...
Also, I have been feeling bad for the last hour and 15 minutes. I'm so sorry for the sound that came through.
Oh, it's okay. Nobody was watching yet, except for Keebs. It was a good laugh though.
Okay, good.
I thought it
I'm
was
so
like
sorry.
on your MSU because it was like over top the scene in the like
I
thing
thought
where Agina is like zapping Zelda, and I was like,
just
what
a
the
dumb
heck?
it's just a dumb audio clip that my friend sent me, and I completely forgot that I had Discord as a separate audio source in OBS, and I hadn't muted it.
you play it again for us.
Okay, cool. This is Homewrecker having to reset his. He has a Hera basement counter.
Language warning for those with small children around.
Yeah, this is Homewrecker having to reset his Hera basement counter. Hold on, I have to unmute Discord.
And I'm turning down my output audio capture.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn down Discord also. There we go. Thank you.
All right. Am I still echoing? No. Okay, good. I heard myself for a hot second there.
Anyway. So were you in GT at the end?
Yeah, but I didn't have ice rod. I was starting to time.
Ice rod. Who needs it?
Yeah, right after I did ice, I went and did TR. I was just like, yeah, it's a TR, right? The Lord will provide.
Yeah.
But it was not the case. But I mean,
Yeah.
my whole route for, like, I guess as soon as I got into Dark World, the route, like, it felt like everything was really clicking on the route. Early game, I was just, I don't know. I've been playing rando for 7 weeks straight, which is like more rando than I like really ever play. And
Yeah.
I was feeling kind of burnt out, and I was like, this is probably my last race, so I'm just gonna have fun. I
Nice.
sprinted straight into Eastern.
Awesome.
I opened back escape from Hera.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, I'll just have fun with it.
Yeah, I like that. Back of escape play is really cool. Like if you have already done the front, I know you didn't, but if you have already done the front and you know the keys in the back and you don't have a glove, you can use the Hera key to get that and get your key back.
Yeah.
I also really liked your route through Mire into Swamp because it got you the flippers at exactly the right time.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I know you didn't know they were there, but we knew they were there, and it was really fun knowing you were going to walk into Hype Cave and then go right back to Swamp.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a buyer special.
I almost abandoned the flippers. I almost was like, because I've just been, I let myself feel burned by purple chest and went for that instead of continuing a smooth route to Hype Cave.
Pigeon logic.
Pigeon logic, exactly. And
How many seeds was purple chest progression in the mentor tournament for you?
Like 3 or 4, I think. Yeah, and but yeah, at the last minute before just going straight to ice, I was like, let me give myself a chance to be closer to go mode before I go into ice. Yeah.
So yeah, Earworm, you get to continue on and face the winner of Vortex and Mike.
Yes.
Pix, you are out, but I hope you had a good time with learning glitches. Do you plan on continuing to play competitively or go back into the all dungeon speedrun or?
There's so much stuff that I want to do. There's like not time. Like I think AD would be really fun to do again. I would like to start dipping into some no logic, and I think maybe ramp up for the HMG tournament in the summer after a little bit of time off. I don't play a ton of competitive rando, but I've had a lot of fun. Just also want to say thanks to you and all the other mods for all the work that goes into doing this, and also to Fox and Buyer for all their help over the 6 weeks of Swiss.
Yeah, we have a great community here. If anybody wants to learn glitches themselves, it's not too late. You don't need a mentor tournament. We have 26 new mentors who just graduated, so you can ask one of them or you can ask one of the old mentors. That will be... Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say. I speaking of no logic picks, I'm hoping we can get the whole like class of 23 to learn no logic together because it looks so much fun.
See, I wanted to get everyone to learn ADRMG together.
Oh,
so we're gonna have to split up, into two majors.
I'm down for either. So yeah, let's do it.
What's your major, Glitches?
Major glitch. Ha. 4K no los dos. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, that will be all for tonight. Trying to get hopefully get a couple vodcasts in tomorrow. We had a lot of really close races that I would like to put on Showcase. If anybody's interested in commentating any of them, I actually cannot commentate those because I'm spoiled on all of them. So hit me up in Discord and let me know. Otherwise, we'll be sending you over to Chex Human, who is testing HMG Entrance, which is maybe going to be coming to Dorando. I'll catch you all later, and thanks for playing, and thanks for watching.